Hello, Dimple Gang. Welcome to the channel. Lala says I'm Lala, and I say things. Thank y'all for your likes, shares, and subscriptions. Y'all are greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Any negative energy been sent toward me or the collective, return it to sender. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on with ya. What's up with your energy? I hope everybody's having a happy Thursday. Ooh, okay, well, right out the gate. So we have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. We have relationships. I'm attracted to those who serve my higher good. Okay. And then we have peace. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. And then we have surrender at the bottom. It says, I can release my need to control. All right, so there's something here that I don't know if you were like trying to force something, Gemini. Someone's trying to force something with you, and you just like it's time to surrender. And the hangman is all about surrender. Or seeing something in a different perspective. So let's see. Sorry. I got a frog in my throat. Let's see what's going on. Y'all hit that like as y'all come in. Equal exchange of energy. All right, let's see what's going on, Geminis. Woo! Yeah, the death card. Now, anytime there's some sort of ending, Geminis, the endings bring about change. And I love the death card. You be seeing 13 surrounding you. Excuse me. I love the death card because confirmation, because out of every ending, you get an opportunity to learn and reflect. Hey Ginger Jim, hey Yana, you get a chance to learn and reflect on the things that made the ending occur. I mean, and change is inevitable, right? Especially when you're dealing with relationships, and that doesn't necessarily have to be anything romantic, but it could be a friendship, association, take how it resonates. And so it gives you a chance to go within and evaluate. If you don't do this already, like what could I have done better to have something more like to sustain itself better or something. Yeah, the Empress. And that's a part of your self-care, Geminis. I like it. Oh, yeah, Queen of Cups. Yep, definitely. I feel like Geminis, what you probably learned from the ending is like being too nice, being too self-sacrificing for others, which puts you right back in this Empress energy. Not being so naive, that I think that part of you has died. Believing everything you hear and just going with it, Take out our resonates. Dang. Yeah, the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups also has meanings like, like being rejected or things like that. But a 4 is a very stable energy. And so 1 and 3 breaks down to a 4. So there's something here that you're needed to do, Geminis. The 4 of Cups could also represent ungratefulness as well. So there could be something here, Geminis, that not only are you learning how to get emotionally grounded within yourself, or you're needing to, but you're also needing to get out of this negative energy. Like, I'm bored, everything sucks. Like, sometimes the 4 of Cups can be kind of like, the energy. Like, because you have a cup here, the 4 and the 5 of Cups are kind of similar, right? But the 4 of Cups can be like not taking something for granted because you have something here, but you're too focused on what you don't have, right? So, yeah, just be mindful of like being in the energy of not taking people, places, or things for granted. The Queen of Swords, I told you. And, I've said it in a lot of readings where the Queen of Cups is literally the Queen of Swords before the pain came. So, You could have been somebody who was very vulnerable. You wore your heart on your sleeve, and now you're just not that way anymore. You have compassion for others, but I think that whatever you've gone through, it could have been a rejection. It could have been someone taking you for granted, taking our resonates. Whatever this is that you've endured, Geminis, it kind of, I don't want to say it made you turn cold, but you're quicker to um, associate your feelings more in logic than you are with emotion. So that could be the emotional balance that you're needing to have, Geminis, with surrender, Holy Spirit. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. So this is giving me an energy of like staying in a situation for a long time, and then it's just like, okay, well, we've been in this situation for a long time. Like, is it worth it? Like, can this grow? Can this progress? Um, and I think that, especially if you have this cup right here, and then right next to it is the Seven of Pentacles. It's like there's something here, Geminis, that maybe you need to see differently. You always have choices, right? But this could also be like you needed to have more patience because things take time, especially if you're dealing with relationships. Um, Things take time to grow. Things take time to progress. Sometimes the Two of Wands can also be a very waiting energy. So some of you all could have felt stagnant. Others of you all, you're needing to have more patience. This could be even in your jobs, financially, whatever the case may be. Oh! What's the death card? Oh, okay. Yes. The Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Yep. Oh, Geminis, yeah. Some of y'all are very, very hard on yourselves. Hey, Tati. Some of y'all went through a dark night of the soul, so you're coming out of that. I feel like, Geminis, if there was something that kept you indecisive, kept your feelings or your emotions in balance, it's time to really get solidified um, in your emotions, which is what I literally just said. Now, some of y'all, I hear something about redirecting. Um, I don't know if this represents someone or if this King of Pentacles is you, right? I feel like Gemini is very much giving me like a very stubborn, like I got this, but I want more. Like something is giving me like you taking something for granted, and it could possibly be your stability in some shape, form, or fashion, or you had someone or something in your life that you took for granted. Yeah. Because you were hyper fixating on what you weren't getting, um, instead of fixating on what you did have. What's the Seven of Pentacles, Holy Spirit? Yep, the Five of Wands. Yeah. And I'm seeing the Page of Cups. Y'all ever seen that thing? I think it was on TikTok, and it was like, um, it had like the word challenge, and then they like slid the paper down, and they had like these really hard words, and then it'll be like a phrase like "I'm sorry" or "I was wrong" or something along the lines of that. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. Like sometimes, even if you are like in a disagreement with somebody, it's like sometimes Geminis, we have a hard time admitting when we were wrong. We do. hmm Yep. A hermit. So this is something that is a calling for you to go within. It's your choice. But the longer you wait to go within, the longer that you're gonna lose out. It's not gonna be the other. Sometimes, Geminis, it's not always the other person. Sometimes it literally is you. And that's really, really hard to be um self-aware like that. To hold yourself accountable. That's not an easy thing to do, to sit back and say, you know what, I could have done this better, or I could have reacted in a situation better than I did. It's not an easy thing to do, and a lot of people don't have that that strength, and that comes with learning to appreciate and love yourself, loving your shadow side as well as your light side, Geminis. Um, Appreciate those flaws, because you can take those flaws and and what's the word I'm looking for? Transmute that energy into something positive. So even if you're recognizing certain things that you need to work on within your interpersonal relationships, 1111, as I say that, just be grateful that you're at a space in your life where you can recognize it and you're like, you know what, I can do this better. Um, and if you're not there, this is a call for you to be introspective. What's the death card in the Nine of Swords? I told you, the Queen of Swords, the Judgment. Oh, Geminis, 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 Geminis. All I can say in this instance right here is sometimes hurt and pain is your best teacher. I don't know why we are the way we are, but sometimes hurt and pain is our best teacher. Unfortunately, it affects our emotional state. We're not very trusting after we've been put through a major test. And this is when pride comes in. Yeah, I don't know if some of you all went through some sort of ego death or you're needing to. Um, and also, some of you all have this thing. I know I do this, but some of you all have this thing where it's just like you stop. It's like you completely shut down and you internalize everything. 1313, as I say that. Like I said before, some of you all, it's like when you mess up, you're just like really, really hard on yourselves. Really, really hard on yourselves. And I think Spirit was saying that instead of over internalizing everything and becoming like feeling like insecure and stuff like that, Geminis, use this as an opportunity to grow from it. What's the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles? What's the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, Holy Spirit? Yeah, see, Five of Cups. Oh, Lord. And the Two of Swords. Yeah. Again, this is like being in denial. This is like holding on to regrets. This could also be you struggling with your emotional state. Gemini, just be mindful of that while you're in relationships. Sometimes, over focusing on a person, place, or thing too much to where it's affecting everything around you, including your finances, Gemini. The Two of Pentacles again. I knew it. And the Tower. Yeah, something forced you to look at yourself. And if this hasn't happened yet, it will. Something is a this is divine interventions and some because the tower is something is some sort of an event, and I want to say major event that forces you or someone connected to you to look at themselves. And you could very well be mirroring someone, Gemini, to where you're forced to look at if you're too emotional or too vulnerable, and then somebody else could be forced to be like, well, I took let's say it's another person, right? Let's say it's a friend. I took Gemini's friendship for granted. This is because I know that Gemini is the type of person they'll always come back around. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's the way that you speak to people. Like, yeah, I could say whatever I say to somebody, but they'll always come back around. And sometimes that may not be the case. When you hurt someone or you speak to someone harshly, or especially if someone feels as if they're being taken for granted, you may not be welcomed back into their life. So just be mindful of that. I told you. Staying stuck and trying to fight for situation like 10 of Pentacles at the bottom. Gemini, let me tell you something. Sometimes we give people titles, or and I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm just talking about in general. Sometimes we put so much stock and value in a person that we feel like we are stuck there. And the Eight of Swords is the perfect example of you. It's only in your mind. Sometimes when you're trying to force something to go a certain way because you have this ideal in your head and you're not really facing the situation for really truly what it is, guess what? You are keeping yourself there. So now is you have to hold yourself accountable because you're keeping yourself stuck. That person, friend, lover, family member, doesn't matter who it is, they're not keeping you stuck. You're keeping yourself stuck. So something is literally calling for you to get out of your comfort zone. And I just see the chariot and the tower in my head, right? The chariot is all about taking control. You still have control. The tower is you don't have any control. So something was going to push you to do something that is out of your comfort zone. And sometimes the Four of Cups means comfort, being too comfortable. Some of you all have gotten too comfortable in either indecision, taking people for granted. Like there's something here that you're too comfortable doing. I'm gonna see what it is. What's this Two of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles? All this there with the Four of Cups. Could possibly be family. It could be a marriage. It could be a relationship. So let's say, for example, you have a partner, Geminis, right? I'm not going to make this too long. I'm almost done. Yep, I'm good. The Four of Wands. So say, for example, you have a partner. You act like you don't care. You act like you don't value this person. Deep down inside, you care, but you're not putting in the effort. You're not putting any effort into the relationship. Then ultimately that person gonna be like, okay, cool, you don't care about me, fuck it, I'ma just go. What do you expect somebody to do? And then with this Two of Pentacles here, seeing this infinity symbol, that's when it becomes cyclical. Because then whomever, and I'm just using Geminis as an example, right? But whoever it was that caused the offense, that person goes chasing after the other person. And that's when you get this runner chaser dynamic. If you just learn to compromise and go within and say, okay, well, these are my needs. This is what I need to make this work. And the other person comes to the table and say, well, this is what I need to make this work. And you compromise. You won't have this back and forth. You won't have this, well, is it really worth it to me? Yeah, I feel stuck. And no, you're not stuck. Somebody here is extremely stubborn and always has to have their way. Now, I don't know if it's you. I keep forgetting the camera. I don't know if it's you, Geminis, or this person that you're connected to. But what I will say is there's something here that's calling for you not to allow your emotions, your finances, your spirituality, your physicality, or even just being too comfortable in a situation to dictate how you interact with other people. It's time for you to get emotionally independent. That could be a relationship. That could be friendships. That could be jobs. That could be something is here where you're just comfortable in your shit. Excuse my French. I'm just being honest. Or something is here that you're enabling someone else to be comfortable in their stuff. Take how it resonates for you. My grandmother used to always say, "You never know," how she put it. You never know, or you miss the water when the well runs dry. Thank you, Grandma. You miss your water when your well runs dry. All right. Abundance. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. This is all about being grateful for what you do have. We have calm. A breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Remain calm. Leave backward. Oh, okay. Let's make sure nothing flipped over. Let's get one more. Holy Spirit, can we have one more? I saw something. Yep. Wow. Choice. Worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. And then possibility at the bottom. It's your choice. There are consequences to all actions. Final messages, Holy Spirit, for Gemini. We have Capricorn, and that's a 2. Balloons, fun, freedom, high vibe, relief, rising up, ascension, aspirations, higher perspective, success, joyful, let it go, stress-free, attaining goals, and independence. We have Scorpio, and that's a 9. Phoenix, transformation, eternal soul, renew, resurrection, rebirth, destroy, rising from the ashes, emerge, new era, alchemy, transmutation, told you, ascension, the end is just the beginning. And one more, Holy Spirit, for the collective. And then we have 5, and that's Taurus, broken bars, hardship, misfortune, trial, overcome, crisis, 2 steps back, change of state, grief, fix it, opportunity, pressure, burden, destroy, adversity, accident, disappointments, and setback. And then something is in the autumn. All right, Gemini, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Y'all are always a vibe. Love reading. It's next. See you later, Gators.